Please state your name and employer for the record.
Treon, Larvadain, Louisiana State Police.
And what is your current job title?
My current job title is Commander of Internal Affairs
How long have you held that position?
since May 19th of 2021.
And where were you assigned prior to that position?
I was assigned to the Governor's Mansion as the Protective Services Detailed Commander.
And when you were assigned to that position, was that an important moment for you?
It was, as any other position I've held, have all been important moments, but this one was a little more special because of the significance that it had with me being promoted to the rank of captain. At the time, I had become the first African-American female to hold that rank in state police's 82-year history. So it was pretty important, not only for me, but also for other women who were to follow behind me, to give the message to them that they too can accomplish that task.
I'm going to have you look at the exhibit packet I've placed next to you. Exhibit G2. Have you ever seen this image before?
Yes, it's a snapshot of the tweet that was allegedly posted by Robbie Woodward at the time.
And when did you first see this comment?
I saw it sometime shortly thereafter of my promotion being announced by several different media outlets, specifically WFB Channel 9, because their caption was "Congratulations to the first female African American promoted to captain." And I saw it on Facebook because I don't have Twitter.
So, have you ever seen that specific tweet before?
Yes.
And how was that tweet brought to your attention?
So, as with anything else, there were a bunch of my family members, friends, co-workers who thought it was important to let me know and say, "Hey, did you see the comment on Twitter?" I said, "Well, I don't have Twitter." And they said they'd send it to me. So I had several different people that sent me screenshots of this actual exhibit J2. Once I received it, I was like, okay, I had seen a comment similar on WAFB's Facebook page, but at that moment when I saw it, I had no connection to it belonging or coming from a fellow trooper. When it was relayed to me that the poster was a state police trooper, then that for me took it to a different level. One, because I knew that the subject was a trooper, and I was kind of appalled by it because, one, I hold troopers just like myself to higher standards, and I think we take the oath to protect and serve, and to do that in a fair, impartial, and unbiased way. So when I saw it, and then when the connection was made that it's from a trooper from Troop F, and I was like, well, hang on, I don't know this guy. Well, at the time I had Facebook, so I went Facebook stalking, right? And so I looked it up, and I found him, and I saw that who he was, and then I saw a few other things, but I just kind of kept all that in my brain and just said, well, okay, this is a trooper. Well, I have a problem with this. I was offended when I read it the first time, but just like anything else, when we have or come across things on social media, we can't control the general public or the posts that they make, and that's kind of part of the game that you participate in if you want to just be on social media. So I just had a problem with that he was a trooper. So I figured I'd better report it to someone.
So how did you find out in the first place that the comment was made by a trooper?
So I found out from several different people. I mean, my daughter, who is also a trooper, she was one, she got it from some of her friends. I received it from a friend from different friends from all over the state. And so when they told me it was a trooper, I went look and I saw it, and I saw he was a trooper. I mean, I have access to the commission personnel database. I can check his name to see if he's actually a trooper, because I didn't know him at all personally.
So when you saw that tweet, what did you feel it was in reference to?
Well, I thought it was just an insensitive comment. One, because I am an African American woman. Whether you want to call me African American or you want to call me a black woman, that's what I am. And until you actually lived or walked a day in the life of a black person, you would not understand what this comment means to receive it from someone who is not of your culture per se. But when I saw it, I was like, it's not okay. It's racially insensitive. And I was offended by it because I thought it was highly inappropriate, and it wouldn't be a question that would be posed to my face if they were given the opportunity.
Did you feel that it could have been a joke?
No, I didn't take it as a joke. I don't joke like that.
How did the tweet make you feel about Master Trooper Woodward as a member of the department?
Well, like I said, I really didn't know him personally, but just holding troopers like we hold everyone else in law enforcement to a higher standard, I felt that he took the same oath as I did. I questioned whether or not he would be able to effectively do his job the way he should in a fair and impartial manner. This to me just displayed the potential character that he has within his heart. That showed me his heart. Whether it's a joke on his side, that's him. But the way I perceived it as, I thought it was offensive, racially insensitive, and not the appropriate comment to make on any platform.
In law enforcement, do you ever use the term African American to describe someone's race or national origin?
Yes.
And would you believe that a fellow law enforcement officer wouldn't know what that term means?
Wouldn't know?
Yes, would not know what that term means.
I think they would know what the term means. In these days and age, ignorance to that fact is basically as simple as that, just ignorance to the fact.
Objection, I don't think there's a question.
I'm sorry?
I didn't hear the question before that statement.
Do you want to repeat the question for his side? He said he didn't hear it.
My question was if she would, if it would make sense to her that a fellow law enforcement agent, officer would not know what the term phrase African American means.
And I said no. I think they would.
I don't have any other questions for Ms. Williams at this time.
Mr. Wilford?
Ms. Captain, you said we had never met before, is that correct?
I don't remember meeting you.
I don't remember you, that's why I was just making sure.
Yes, sir, that's what I said.
Okay.
Other
I
than
remember
when
you
we
as
came
a-
in this morning.
Yes, ma'am, I didn't even recognize you then.
Well, I didn't recognize you either.
Yes, ma'am. You said, in reference to, you said earlier you went Facebook stalking
Yeah.
and looked me up, and then what did you mean by things that you had all these thoughts and things in your head?
Now, so when I went and I saw your picture, one picture, I mean, your page is private as I remember, if I remember correctly. It was just a picture that, whatever you allow the public to see, that's not private. And so one of the pictures were you in uniform. And so that's what confirmed to me more so that you were a trooper, as they had told me.
Okay. And then when you said, specifically you said this trooper is from Troop F.
I didn't say trooper.
Yes, you did.
I don't remember saying trooper.
You said specifically, and then I found out that he was specifically a trooper from Troop F.
Oh, okay.
What did you mean there?
that's the troop you work at. There's no other meaning behind it. We all like different troops, so troop F is your troop,
Well, it's
that's
just-
what I mentioned.
Okay, I just wondered the way you said it, it's like, as if there's something different or special about your belt.
I know.
Okay. You said, not of your culture. What do you mean, not of your culture? Are you aware of my history or where I was born and raised, or do you have any?
I
thoughts
am
on that?
not.
Okay. And then, Phil, as your experience as a police officer, filling out any forms, whether it's running a driver's license, criminal history, is there a blank where you put in someone's physical description, usually?
Usually it depends on what type of form you're referring to. I mean, I'm sure
Specifically
forms have
said, like running a
changed.
driver's license. running a criminal history.
Excuse me. You have to let her finish her answer. She was not finished. Finish your answer, please.
Yes, sir. It just depends on the form, which type of form you're talking about or referring to. There are several different blanks for biographical information.
Can you give me an example of one that a trooper would use?
You were referring to the form, so maybe you can tell me which form you're referring to.
Specifically, running, driver's license, criminal history, even an arrest report.
Usually, normally it's done like a B or, a W.
Yes, okay.
It just depends. Different forms have different, I guess, connotations as it relates to which race it would be.
Excuse my ignorance, but keep referring to race. What do you mean by race?
I mean,
I
the
may have a
tweet is
different
about
definition.
race. I refer to race because that's what the tweet surrounds is race. You mentioned African American. That's referring to a race.
I mean, that's referring to two different continents, technically three.
Okay, well, you see it that way. I don't see it that way.
It's being argumentative.
Mr.
Yes,
Woodward, you can ask questions, but you don't get to comment on her answers.
Right.
Okay, so
I meant
when
to
she
format
answers,
it
you
in
can
a
ask another question.
Again, I'll ask you again, what do you mean by race when you say race? Because I'm referring to like the,
Black, white,
okay.
Italian, Hispanic, African American, whichever you want to refer to as.
Is it fair to say that typically, especially in the world of law enforcement, when it comes to, which is called race, there's really only two options, especially when we're running a, like a better term, 26, a driver's license history or criminal history. So you either put in W, which is for white, or B, which is black, and that even includes Hispanics. Otherwise, you don't get a return. Do you think that's fair?
No, I don't think that's fair. I mean, if you're talking about a citation or a driver's license, yeah, we don't have the option on that to write out African American or European or whatever other nationality. There's a blank about, little space about that big to write a B and some people do write O's for other instead of H for Hispanic. So B is referred to as black and white is W, so.
Yes, ma'am, but in any forms where specifically criminal history, running a criminal history, what are the options?
To run a criminal history, I really hadn't ran a criminal history lately. So I would be speaking or saying something that I'm not familiar with if I talk to you about a criminal history form.
Okay. You referred to the comment, I think we're start that. But still today, my understanding, you've never seen me before other than on Facebook pictures. Is that correct?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Anybody have questions of this witness? Is this witness free to go? Yes. You're not having one. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a great day.